You know, everybody laughed at me a few months ago when I told them I started wearing adult diapers. Little did they know I was just preparing for my ticket to the moon. Guys, there is no time to squirt when you have a piggy bank as full as ours will be. Let's do this. Wow, guys, if you thought that the unlimited money printing initiated by the Fed in response to the absolute global catastrophe that really started to get kicked up back in March of the year 2020. Guys, if you thought that was good for Bitcoin, which it absolutely is, then what is going on over the last few days is absolutely moon booster rocket fuel galaxy gainers confirmed. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Stanley Sticky Trousers, and we have two absolutely critical things that we're going to be going over today in this video of why you need to be paying attention to Bitcoin if you aren't already. And guys, again, if you really thought that what happened in 2020 was bullish for Bitcoin, which obviously it was, right? Bitcoin going from like $4,000 to $42,000, currently cooling off. If you thought that was good for Bitcoin, which undeniably, absolutely it is, what is happening right now? There is so much we need to be delving into, and why everybody that's been involved in crypto is already on that next level opportunity here. And there's a lot of crazy things we have to take a look at. One being exactly what's going on with GME and what's going on with Wall Street bets and everything like that. And number two, guys, number two actually plays into this giant FUD story of this monthly candle. So guys, if you're prepared for an absolute lunar liftoff, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, make sure to turn on those post notifications so you get access to these absolutely groundbreaking discoveries before it's too late. And without any further goo goo gaga, let's dive in. So guys, first things first, I'm sure you're already at this point extremely familiar with what's going on with Wall Street, with Wall Street bets and everything like that. So we're gonna save that for a few minutes, but that's huge. And there's more and more information coming out every hour, which is just groundbreaking, absolutely game-changing stuff, which if you don't see the connection between that and Bitcoin, well, it should become very clear to you here very shortly. But guys, just as importantly, something Crypto Zombie pointed out today in one of his videos I think is absolutely important here. So Guggenheim CIO saying the institutional demand is not there to sustain Bitcoin above 30K. Yet, something K-Dub pointed out in his video today is that, you know, just months ago, they were saying Bitcoin should be worth 400,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So you might be wondering, well, why did he flip the script? As K-Dub pointed out, they have not been given the green light to buy Bitcoin yet. So of course, if you want to talk about manipulation, which is obviously going on Wall Street, there's manipulation going on by those same players trying to get into the more valuable asset, which is Bitcoin. So basically, let's sum it up. These guys are basically saying that, yeah, Bitcoin's going to be worth a lot, right? They're saying $500,000 here. And the same guy recently now saying Bitcoin doesn't have the support to hold 30K. Why do you think he would be saying that? Right? You know, he's probably going to get the green light to be able to buy Bitcoin soon. Do you think that in any universe, it might be possible that he would want the Bitcoin price to be as low as possible until he buys in and the train gets going to, you know, 50, 100K, 200K, 500K? I'm not saying that's the case, but just think about it for a second. What are the chances some of these billionaires, some of these players with a lot of money that want to get exposed into Bitcoin and crypto, what are the chances? What motive do they have to try to delay the progress of Bitcoin to be able to get in before it gets too expensive so they can maximize their gains and their profits as well? Just something to think about. And I think it lines up very well with this FUD story of Bitcoin printing a bearish monthly candle. Everyone is like panicking about this, right? There's only a few days left. Oh geez, oh golly gee. Is Bitcoin going to close below 32, 33K? Is it going to close below 29K and have a very bearish doji gravestone doji candle, and Bitcoin's going to reverse down to 20K or something crazy? Guys, this is the definition of FUD. This is the definition of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This is exactly what people with a lot of money, with hedge funds, with big institutions that want to get into crypto, this is exactly a textbook play that they could make, that they would make. And do we have any reason to think that maybe that's happening? As the story I just told you about Guggenheim literally 2 minutes ago, do you think possibly that that could play into the idea that they just want to get in lower? As they stated, they fully expected a month ago Bitcoin to be heading towards like 400,000 at some point in the future, right? Now all of a sudden they flip the script. Or are they just doing what they've done their entire careers and fudding the market, manipulating the market so that they can maybe get in at lower prices? Guys, you need to be aware that this is how these people operate. And this plays in perfectly to what we're seeing with GME, with GameStop, with Wall Street, with these hedge funds, Melvin Capital, with these absolute criminals doing the same thing. But it's even more blatant on Wall Street. You know, at least they're maybe trying to be a little tricky with it in regards to Bitcoin so far. But what we're seeing with Wall Street, they're literally stopping trading with Robinhood. Webull, I believe other apps are doing the same thing, guys. Basically, they're literally not even enabling you to buy things like GME, AMC, or other stocks that are being heavily shorted GME, for example, I believe is being shorted like 130, 140%, which again, probably should not even be legal. But these people are criminals and they make the rules. And if the rules don't work for them, as we've seen this week, what do? They change the rules. So you might be wondering, okay, yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe we are in a rigged system. You might be thinking, well, okay, that's great, but I don't have a choice. Guys, you do have a choice. The choice has been there in front of our faces for so long at this point. The choice is decentralization. Okay, the choice is decentralization. The choice is censorship-resistant currencies, which is exactly why myself and most of you have been in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies for most likely years at this point, because we realize the necessity for it. Because we realize there is literally no way to get ahead. Not even get ahead. There's no way to even be treated fairly in traditional financial markets. The only option for us at this point is cryptocurrencies. Now, are cryptocurrencies absolutely perfect and there's no flaws? Absolutely not, right? If you're looking for cryptocurrencies to just be that, a currency, then again, it's a little too volatile. However, nobody really wants Bitcoin at this point to be a currency, more just so a store of value. So the currency argument is a little outdated, as at this point, it's been very clear for people that nobody's really pushing a currency narrative for Bitcoin anymore. We're pushing the store of value narrative, because if you look back at Bitcoin, year after year, the store of value for Bitcoin has been immensely positive, has been immensely amazing for anybody that's been invested in cryptocurrencies, in Bitcoin specifically, and as well Ethereum, right? We need to start talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum side by side. Both of them have the opportunity to work together to absolutely change this system. Okay, we're not talking about every single crypto. Again, there are some other really good cryptos besides just those two, but I think it's important to start recognizing Bitcoin and Ethereum together for what they can actually do for us. And guys, how ironic, this billionaire on CNBC earlier today basically saying, you know what guys, we should all work together. Stop blaming the rich. We have to fix this together because they're losing money. Guys, before this week, do you think they wanted to work together with any of us? It's absolutely pathetic. Of course not. But now that they're vulnerable and they've been exposed, and their whole scheme, their casino Wall Street scheme that they've been purporting for years and decades at this point, now that it's finally starting to get a little unraveled, you see them start to panic and they think, oh guys, well, you know what? Let's not be enemies. Let's be friends. Meanwhile, they literally suck the wealth out of the economy. They suck it out of your piggy bank directly. And if something goes wrong for them, like what happened in 2008 when the financial housing collapse, guess what, guys? Did any of those criminals go to jail? In fact, they were rewarded. They were given bonuses. And do you know where they got those bonuses? Do you know where they were bailed out from? It was directly from our piggy banks, taken directly from us. So guys, they have no problem stealing directly from us. But the second, literally a day or two after this started happening, you hear them crying for stronger regulation. You hear them crying for an end to be put to this, that the system is now not fair. However, the only side that you and I have seen for our entire lives is the back end of this. The average everyday investor has been chewed out, slapped, and spit on the entirety of the stock market, basically, right? And now that people in numbers, due to the internet and due to the power of what the internet allows us to do, collectively come together and just basically, make our voice heard and maybe say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be shorting GameStop 140%, which they've been also doing for years. Keep in mind, this is not something that just started a few weeks ago. They've been doing this for a long time. They've been squeezing GameStop for a long time, and they've been squeezing a lot of these other businesses, most likely illegally, with how much leverage, with how much margin they're using. And we're supposed to feel bad for them because, maybe this guy might lose one of his 30 homes, right? Maybe he'll only have 29 homes to visit now instead of 30. And guys, this is beautiful. If you don't have a Twitter, I highly recommend you get one, because all of this breaking information, all of this stuff has been absolutely flooding Twitter. If you want the information fast and accurately, honestly, Twitter is the place to be. And for example, Dave Portnoy here of Barstool Sports, amazing video 2 hours ago, basically saying a much better version of what I'm trying to say here about why these people are criminals and why what's going on is just completely corrupt. And guys, again, at the end of the day, what can we do about it? Right? Do we have any options? Literally, the only option we do have at this point is to invest in decentralized, uncensorable technology like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, and that's why you see things like we see Dogecoin, like GME is going down obviously because they halted the trading on it. So how can it go up when they're literally not allowing people to buy it? Talk about manipulation. Is there any more disgusting, blatant manipulation than literally just telling people, just locking them out of their accounts? In fact, there's even some reports that not only are they locking people out of their, or not being able to buy some of these assets like GME, there's some reports showing that some of these positions are actually being sold without any consent from the people that hold it in their portfolio, meaning apps like Robinhood, stuff like that. Again, this is still not proven just yet, but there's a lot of information coming out that they're potentially literally selling the positions of people who are holding this stock, literally, so it can help these hedge fund criminals. And guys, what do we see? Dogecoin is pumping today because you know what? People are tired of it. They think, okay, well, if you're going to censor us, the only option we have is to go to something decentralized, and look at Dogecoin. Okay, is Dogecoin the absolute answer to these problems? I personally don't think so, right? I don't think Dogecoin is going to be, the thing that saves us. However, people getting exposed to the crypto market by something that they can relate to, Dogecoin, right? Who doesn't love Doges? This again is just an easy way for people to get exposed to the market. And the more people learn about Bitcoin and the more people learn about Ethereum, the more they will buy it. Because again, guys, the only people I've ever seen talk bad about Bitcoin or bad about Ethereum are people that are just uneducated. It's people that haven't done the research for whatever reason. They're just not interested in it. The only people that talk bad about Bitcoin are people with no knowledge. The more you educate yourself, the more of a believer you will be in these decentralized currencies. And if what is happening this week is not the biggest wake-up call to people that this is necessary and we need this, then again, I don't know what is. We have so many things going on fundamentally now, right? The two biggest things that I could ever imagine helping Bitcoin would be the US dollar absolutely depreciating in value, which is exactly what we're seeing with this unlimited Fed printing. And number two, people losing faith in the current system. Well, how do you get people to lose faith in the current system? One, like I just said, the devaluing of the US dollar doesn't really make people really excited to, get their US dollars in their check every week. But more importantly, when we see the pinnacle of US dollar, or when we see the pinnacle of like finance, which is Wall Street, right? We look at the big money billionaires there. When we lose absolute faith in them, which we should never have had faith in them anyway, they've always been crooks, when they are exposed for what they're doing, which is getting exposed on the biggest level, then again, guys, it should not be too much of a wake-up call as to why Bitcoin is more necessary than ever before, why censorship-resistant currency, where we can actually have a say in our finances, is more necessary than ever. Because guys, what is the other option? The other option here is that we don't move towards a decentralized currency and we let them do exactly what they're doing. If we're doing well, say I open a nice trade and I'm up, a couple 100% or something like that, whether it's with GameStop stock or something like that, they can just decide, hey, you've made too much money. You're not allowed to buy any more of this. If that's how you want your finances to be run and dictated for you, for your life, then go ahead. Just keep abiding by this system, ignore cryptocurrencies. But if you actually want to have a say in your finance, if you want to have a say in your future, right? If you want to actually maybe, for once, make a couple bucks, look no further than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Delve into cryptocurrencies. All I'm saying is, at the very least, do a little research. I'm not telling you to buy it, but I'm saying, at the very least, look into it.